Hello, welcome to this class. And in this class, I want to teach you about deployment in Solidity. We've been using deployment using the local environment such as VM Berlin and VM London to do all our deployment so far in this tutorial. So this time around, I want to show you how you can actually deploy it to the Ethereum network that is not just local to your machine, but is public everywhere, and you can access this smart contract anywhere in the world. So how do you do that? Let's jump into the tutorial. So make sure you compile your code, Control S, and this thing is all good, and you've tested it out with your local stuff here. And with that done, all you need to do is to make sure that you have MetaMask installed. If you don't have MetaMask, you go to the Chrome store and Google Chrome store and actually install that MetaMask extension. Like you can see, I have my own installed, and I actually have activated the test network, and I'm actually using Rinky for this test network. Ethereum mainnet should be stay away from that, because that is real ether, and if you have some real money, you can actually lose it if you're using that. So you gotta be intentional when you're using it. It should be a fully fledged smart contract that you intend on utilizing on the mainnet before you deploy. But for practice sakes, you should use this one. This is a local network which I added myself, and I use it with my Ganache, my Ganache local blockchain. And also, if I want to use hard hat as well, I could use that method. So with that installed, like I have some money here. Now I want to perform some transaction. So let's do the deployment. See, deployment always takes some money. So you see my money here right now, 1.2446 Rinky each. So now to actually deploy to that particular network, what you need to do is to change the environment from that London or Berlin to what? MetaMask provider, and the number of accounts on that particular network will be given to you. Like this, the connected wallet, which is this particular one, will be returned, and this is the amount of money that I have on it. So now, of course, I want to simply click on what deploy, and you watch as this. See, MetaMask is going to tell you, do all the calculation, the gas fee and all of that, and ask you to sign the transaction. That is to authorize this transaction, because the money is going to be moved from your wallet. Okay, so you can see all these details, and it's telling you, okay, perform this transaction to put this thing. So this is what it's going to cost me to put this particular smart contract on the network. So I click on confirm, and the process is now ongoing, and it's being deployed. You can actually view the result here on Etherscan, and once it is successfully deployed, you can have the smart contract will be listed here. Okay, so you see it is deployed, and all that cool stuff has taken place. So now I could easily just click on this link, and it will open the Rinky testnet, the Etherscan for me. Or I could copy this transaction hash, come to rinkyb.etherscan, and paste in the transaction detail here. Click on search, and it's going to search for it, and I think it found one. Yes, it found one, and it can tell you this contract creation. So this is basically a deployment contract. It's nothing special about it. So it's a deployment contract. It has information about all that, what it took to perform that deployment. So I'm going to go back and perform just one transaction, basically make a speech. I say, Mr. President, then Biden, just, and just can't, you know, just fixing the rest of it. Okay, just can't, you know. So I'm gonna clear this and perform this transaction. Of course, it's gonna launch MetaMask for me and ask me to sign that particular transaction, because anything that is going to change the state of the blockchain, please take note of this, anything that is going to change the state of the blockchain, database processes and all that, you know, your state variable, okay, if a thing is going to change it, that thing is going to cost you gas fee. Okay, that is what it is. So you're going to make a post, it's going to cost you gas fee. All right, it's just a little bit of a sad aspect of blockchain, but at the same time, it kind of limits spam, and people are very intentional of what they say here now, because even after saying it, is you can't erase it, you can't stop it, it's forever there, you know. So that is why you want to make sure that you're very intentional whatever you're doing on the blockchain. So I'm going to click on this confirm button, and this transaction is going to be performed, and once it is done, I can actually see the transaction details there. And you know, the blockchain is pretty slow, so you want to be very patient with it, because there are many people working on this at the same time. So this is the transaction hash. I come here and enter and search for that particular data, the contact, what happened. So in this place, you can see more information is being extracted about this particular this particular transaction. So the transaction data has returned. You can see that it went through, it's successful, and this is the transaction ID. You can see from which this is coming from my account, from my particular account, and this is the smart contract wallet address. This is my own wallet address. So this is where the money, I mean this transaction that I interacted with, this is where it's going. This is the particular thing I was interacting with, and you can see more details about this particular transaction. You can see how much that I spent on this particular transaction and all that information. And you can see the log. This is where you check the log. You can see yep, so two data that were logged in this particular smart contract. One is for the creation of the smart contract. The second one was when I was interacting with the smart contract. I interacted with it. I actually published a news. Okay, I made a speech. So this is that particular log that is responsible for that. It's actually called events. You know, when you click on this event place here, okay, and this is the information here that was captured. So it's not pretty, but you have to learn how to interpret all these things. So this is the contract bytecode. You see, it's even in the smart contract itself. So you have all those information written there. So basically, this is how you do it here. This is how you deploy to the Ethereum, you know, Ring-KV test network. You can also deploy to mainnet, and all of that is not difficult. All you need is to make sure that you have MetaMask installed and, you know, activated, and you have some test ethers, and then you can perform your transaction. With that, let's get the published, you know, news. I'm calling. See, I have this particular one called Mr. President. So it's right there on the blockchain. So this is how you work with do deployments. I hope you get some ideas and information about what and how to interact with the blockchain now. So I'm going to end this class for here today, and I'm going to have to see you in the next one.